So this is all a little bit weird, guys. I'm out fishing, there's nothing weird about that. But I'm on the beach. I haven't fished on the beach for absolutely years. There's been reports of congers and dogfish and rays and all sorts being caught off the beach at the moment. Got to be in the right spot, but I just couldn't help myself. The sea fishing bug's really got me at the moment. Went out in the boat a couple of times and had 2 really good days. And because I live so close to the beach, it just makes sense to come down here and have a bit of fishing. So I've got myself kitted out with a bit of freshwater gear / sea gear. You know, I've got a spod rod. I've got a bit of a specimen rod, which is a bit of a pokey one. So I should be able to cast 4 ounces out there and maybe put a whole squid out or a sand eel and see what we can do. But yeah, really looking forward to this. High tide's at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's about 9:45 now, so it's getting there. I need to get the rod set up, get a couple of baits out there and see if we can catch a fish. So I've got one rod set up and ready to go now. Just got a simple 40-pound shock leader coming through. I've got a 4-ounce impact breakaway lead on the bottom. The swivel up here is trapped between 2 crimps, 2 little beads, and there's a little spring as well. Always used to use these little springs, which really helped to keep the tension and let it spring out once it hits the bottom. And I've got a pennel rig here, 2 size 4/0 hooks, and a whole squid bound on. So let's sling that out into the abyss and see what happens. So the second rod's all set up and ready to go now. And I'm fishing this one slightly differently, in as much as this one's going to fish double sand eel on a pennel. I've bound them both together, and I've got a size 4/0 at that end and a size 1 at that end at the top. So hopefully that's a ray bait, but I'll be happy with anything. At the moment there's been plenty of fish coming out from along here. There's been some strap congers coming out. I've never caught a conger eel before, so one of those would be a first. I've never caught a ray from the shore. I've had a couple when I've been out in boats before, but literally 1 or 2. Dogfish again, I don't think I've caught any from the shore before. So yeah, anything would be really good. Let's give it a go, get this one out. So that's it, those 2 rods are out there now doing their thing. Just keep an eye on them rod tips. Gonna have a little bit of a tidy up now, cup of coffee, and settle in for the night. I'm not quite sure how long to leave them for. If I get any indications of crabs or anything, then I shall wind in and put some fresh baits on. But I'll probably give them about half an hour to 40 minutes, and if nothing happens I can put some fresh ones on. But it's not something that I'm used to be honest. When I used to fish from the beach years ago, I just used to scratch about. It was always ragworm, lugworm, tipped off with squid, and catch anything that comes along really. I used to catch loads of whiting and pout and those sorts of things and dabs, but nothing really of any size, not off the beach, not off the shore. But now I've got that specimen angler mindset through the course fishing. I've got no problem leaving big baits out there all night. If I catch a fish, I catch a fish. If I don't, it's been a lovely night out beside the water, listening to the waves crash and watching the ferries go by. I've missed it, to be honest. Beautiful. And there we have it, guys. That there, my first fish of the night, and my first ever conger eel. They call them strap congers when they're this small. That's taken the whole squid, that one. And I am well chuffed with that. I'm going to get this one unhooked and get it back out there. Happy days. Well, that was super cool. Never ever caught a conger before. It's always cool when you catch something that you've never caught before. And to think of all the times I've fished on the beach in the past and never ever caught one, and then I've come back and I've got one first cast. Unbelievable. It wasn't a big conger, a strap conger, probably about 3 or 4 pounds, but I was chuffed with it. Really, really good bite. Fought on the way in. Superb. I've got a whole squid back on that one again. and buzzed it out. Not fishing very far out. I haven't really got the kit for it, to be honest. I've got a Browning specimen rod on the left, which is, it's a bit of a poker, to be honest. About 11 foot. It's supposed to be like a carp rod, but it's a little bit too stiff for carp fishing, so I threw it in the shed. Thought I might use it one day for something, you know. So ideal for this. And the other one's a spod rod and a spod reel. I've got braid on there. I just haven't been out and got myself any beach fishing stuff at the moment. I keep on doing it. In the past I've done it. I'll rekindle it. I'll go out and buy myself a couple of beach rods, a couple of reels, and I'll fish 3 or 4 times, and then I've had enough of that and I'll get rid of it again. So I'm just gonna give it a go with some of the stuff that I've got. And if I enjoy it and I want to stick at it, then maybe I can get some more stuff. But I've just noticed the coarse fishing is a little bit slow through the winter months. I do enjoy fishing for grayling on the river in the winter, and doing a bit of perch fishing as well. But apart from that, I don't really do a lot, to be honest. So being on my doorstep, the beach and the pier, it kind of makes sense to have a bit of stuff tucked away in the office, and then of an evening when the kids are in bed, I can come down for a couple of hours if the tides are right. So yeah, that's perfect. Just going to keep an eye on these 2 rods now, and report back if we get anything else. So I've just wound in the ray rod. I call it the ray rod because it's the one that I've got double sand eel on. But it had been nibbled, probably crabs, but there's another one there ready to go out. There's 2 sand eels lashed together. Just a bit of the head and the tail chopped off so a bit of blood comes out. And then a hook in the bottom and a hook in the top. So I just had another bite on the squid rod, and I've wound it in. There's nothing on there, but the squid's head was gone, so probably something small having a bit of a nibble. I'm going to put a fresh bait on now anyway and get it back out there. So it's 1:30 now. It's about 20 minutes after high water, and I'm probably going to give it about another 20 minutes with the baits that I've got on out there now. It's been very quiet since that first bite, that first conger. But I knew it was the way. It's all or nothing with these big baits. It's a case of if something decent comes along, then happy days. If not, it's a nice night sat out here. It's not been too cold. I've had a bit of grub, I've had a flask of soup and a flask of coffee, and it's been nice just being back down on the beach again fishing. So I'm looking forward to going again. Going to get the bait that I've got left in the freezer and probably top up with a little bit more from the tackle shop. Get myself a few other bits of tackle. Definitely going to get some little bells or maybe little lights for the end of the rods. That would be very handy. But yeah, until I go again, tight lines, and thanks very much for watching. So it's Monday night and I've got a few hours free, so I'm going to go down the beach again. I've got some squid left over from the last session, and I've got a packet of sand eel that I bought today. Got the kids in bed now and asleep, so I'm free to do what I want now for the rest of the evening. It's just on 7 o'clock, and high tide I believe is about 10:30, 11:15. So I'm going to get back down probably to the same spot I was last time and give it another bash. I might even have a look at the pier first just to see if there's many people on there. If it's quite quiet, I might fish off the pier, but if there's a few people on there, I might just go down the beach. So see you when I decide. I had a quick look at the pier, a couple of anglers on there, and I didn't really fancy it, so I thought I'd get back down where I was last time. It's a little bit later in the tide. It's probably about 2 hours until high water. I want to hurry up and get the rods out. But there's a whole squid on a pennel, just about to go out. That's the first rod going out. And I'm going to put sand eel on the other one, straight past it. So I hope you can hear me. It's a little bit windier, a little bit noisier than last time. There's a bit more wind coming in, I can see to my right. But I've got one out there with squid on. I sat and wind it in because it didn't grip properly and it just dragged on up the beach. Tide's racing quite a bit at the moment. But I'll put it back out there and it seems to be holding alright now. This one's got the couple of sand eels bound together with a little pennel on, so I'm going to flick that one out. I'm not going to put it out too far. See how we go. So I seem to be struggling a little bit tonight with the weed. There was none here the other night, completely different night altogether. I mean, we've got a lot of wind coming in from the right. We didn't have any wind at all when I was down there last. And there's loads of big clumps of weed all scattered along the water's edge. And every time I wind in, I've wound in about 3 times now because I'm just getting pulled around. And I've got these big clumps of weed on the line, so I don't think the bait's presenting very well at all. So not that confident tonight. At least last time the baits were out there and I could sit and watch, you know, motionless rod tips and I could see the bites. But I'm not sure what's happening tonight. I'm hoping that once the tide picks up a little bit, it might push the weed out of the way and then I can fish clear, but we'll have to see. I'm casting well up tide and then getting the grips stuck in, and I'm hoping that they'll hold a little bit better now. They seem to be okay now, but it looks like I'm getting about 10 or 15 minutes and then they're just getting ripped out by this weed grabbing hold of the line, so we just have to see how it goes. Well, it's no monster, guys, but I've got a blank saver. Just had that little whiting on the whole squid. Somehow I managed to get the top hook of the pennel in his gob. It was tapping away. I thought it was the shingle, the gravel, just maybe the lead bouncing along it because we're not holding the bottom very well at all. But I wound it in and there he was. I'm going to go and put him back. Quality. Okay, so not that it's anything special, but I'm just going to show you how I've got a whole squid on. This is how I do it. Might not be right, but it goes on. Go through the body and through the head. Get some elastic and just start binding it to that bigger hook at the bottom. Making sure I get some up around the eye so it doesn't move that hook. Break that off. Then I get the smaller hook. So the bottom hook in this situation is a 6/0 and this top hook is a 3/0. They're fairly big hooks, but just about to say I'm fishing for big fish, but just caught a whiting on it. You can't help what hangs itself, can you? Get some around that top so it keeps it on that top hook, and then come down below the bend of the hook and get some around this top piece. Just need it to touch that. Get the juices out. Around that middle bit, get rid of that lump. See that juice starting to ooze out now, and that's it. One hook at the top, one hook at the bottom. See how we go. Well, wonders will never cease. I've actually caught 2 fish tonight now. I've just had this dogfish. Lovely little dogfish. I haven't caught many dogfish. I haven't done much boat fishing, and I haven't caught many off the beach, off the shore, if any. That's incredible. That's on the double sand eel, that one. Well chuffed, really chuffed. Gonna get him unhooked and get him back. So it looks like we're bagging up now. I was just about to do a little piece for the camera on how I tie the sand eels on. And as I looked up, I saw the squid rod rattling away, and we've got another dogfish. Another dogfish on. Really wiry, really powerful fish these are. Give a lovely bite as well. I'm going to get him back because I've got no rods in the water at the moment. But I don't mind. We're catching fish. This is how I sort the sand eels out. It's only something I picked up on YouTube anyway. But cut their heads off just at the eyes. And then, good little trick, take the gill plates off and those heads off just at the eyes. Just releases that bit of blood. A bit more blood comes out. Especially when you bind them, it kind of squeezes the blood out. And then if you cut a little bit off behind the tail, again you get more blood come out. So then what I do is I bind them together with the elastic, with no hooks involved at the moment. So I get them parallel with each other, start binding them, concentrate more around the head. This thin elastic's really good, but it does break quite easily. Right, concentrate around the hook because that's where you're around the head because that's where you're going to be putting the hook, and then work your way back down the body. Already I can see the blood starting to ooze out. So I'll work my way down here. Ideally you want to try and find two worms that are pretty much the same length. These ones are quite a bit different, but it won't matter too much. It's only the top pennel hook that's sitting in the uneven bit. Concentrate a little bit around them tails as well because that's where the top hook's going to be. Sorry if you can't hear me, but them waves are really crashing tonight. So once you've got them two wheels bound together, give my hands a little bit of a wipe, and we're going to get our hooks involved. So the bigger of the two is going to go down near the heads, going to go through that elastic that I've done and bring it through so that we've got that sitting like that with that hook point really proud. And it looks like I might have another bite on that squid rod that I've just put out. I'm going to bind that hook to them two sand eels, concentrate around that eye so it doesn't slip, and then bring the smaller hook down, line it up with the end, a couple of twists around, and then through that whipping. Put a bit of elastic around that top just to stop it from slipping down, keep that top hook fishing. Making sure you don't mask that hook point. And that there, that's a lovely double sand eel pennel, and that's going back out right now. Oh, it seems like the sea is like dogfish soup out there at the moment. Again on the squid pennel, we've got another doggy. That's on the top hook this time. See the bottom of dangling free. But small dogfish, but I'm well chuffed. Just happy to be catching fish. I'm happy to be out fishing, let alone catching fish. Catching fish is a bonus. Awesome. That was really heavy winding that one in. But it was because it had about 60 pounds of weed on it, and this whiting Second whiting of the trip. Really small whiting, but as I said before, I'm just happy to be out catching fish. Super duper. So I'm having another little struggle now. I can't seem to keep a rod out there at the moment because it's about 15 minutes towards high tide. Oh, my head is so itchy with this hat. It's a really warm night and I'm done up like an Eskimo. And these hats always make my head itch. Now that rod gets out there now, it's just getting, it's getting wiped out in no time. I think the tide's really pulling and there's loads of big clumps of weed coming along with it, so it's just picking it all up and dragging it along. So I'm hoping in about 15 minutes when it's high tide it's going to go a bit slack and I should be able to on and get a couple of rods out there again. This one's ready to go. This one's got a whole squid on. I'm going to clip that into the old impact shield on the lead. And then that's all ready to go, all nice and streamlined. And I can pop that back out there. But I don't think I'm going to bother at the moment. I think I'm wasting my time because I've had about 5 casts in the last half an hour. I've had no fish, I've had no bites, I've just had it ripping straight round and I've had loads and loads of big clumps of weed on. Yeah, that one's bending all the way over again. I'm going to wind it in, have a cup of tea I think, and maybe give it a go after that. I was just about to do a little outro piece, but I've had enough and I'm not fishing effectively because these lumps of weed are coming through and just wiping me out. But I've got a little rattle on the end of the rod there, which looks a bit fishy, so I'm going to wind that in. If there's a fish on there I'll show you. If not, I'm going to say goodbye, but I'll be back. Yeah, there's a false alarm. The baits are practically untouched. I could probably cast that back out again, but I know for a fact I'm going to cast it out, I think the grippers are in, and then within about 30 seconds it's starting to drag its way along, and it's just a bit of a waste of time. And to be honest, I've got work in the morning, I've got to be up at 6:15, it's about 10:30 now anyway, so I've had a fantastic session, I can't complain. I'm looking forward to getting out again. Tight lines, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.